Hello, how are you? On last video, we covered this extended section, which is ESG reporting. So in last video, we covered what is ESG reporting and an overview for SMEs. Is the ESG reporting mandatory in the EU? What is the new ESG regulation for SMEs in Europe? How the CSRD affects non-European companies? And 5 benefits for ESG reporting for SMEs in the EU. So today we are going to continue with this very, very large theme, which is ESG reporting. And we are going to cover a few things, like 6 challenges of ESG reporting for SMEs in the EU. Secondly, the future of ESG reporting for SMEs in the EU. Then I will develop a bit 7 strategies or steps for SMEs to implement ESG reporting in the EU. And lastly, kind of a conclusion on ESG reporting strategies and opportunities for SMEs. Pretty much this topic cannot be closed fully because as ESG regulators are evolving, and in their scopes, in their mandates, in the regulations, even in the guidelines for industries that are not fully completed yet, then these videos are going to be outdated, if you may, in a year time. So we are going to continue updating these videos to make sure that actually we have the latest in terms of how to do these reportings. So let's go on point number 1 today, which is the 6 challenges of, or at least the 6 identified challenges of ESG reporting for SMEs in the EU. And the number 1 is the financial constraints. One of the most significant barriers for SMEs entering the ESG reporting arena is costs. Unlike larger corporations, most SMEs operate with limited budgets, making it difficult to allocate resources toward complex reporting requirements. These costs include the need for specialized software, data management tools, and often external consultants to guide compliance. So for SMEs, such expenses can be prohibitive sometimes. The second thing or second challenge will be limited expertise and resources. Many SMEs lack in-house expertise in ESG, leading to knowledge gaps in understanding what to report and how to interpret complex frameworks like the European Sustainability Reporting Standard or the ESRS. While large companies may have dedicated ESG teams, SMEs often rely on existing staff who may lack ESG-specific training. Consequently, SMEs may struggle to implement robust data gathering or processes or translate sustainability initiatives into measurable metrics. The third challenge is complexity of data collection. So setting up specific ESG data collection processes can be challenging, especially for SMEs with limited internal data systems. Many SMEs may lack the historical data necessary for accurate reporting, particularly for metrics like carbon emissions or social impact data. Additionally, reporting on indirect impacts, such as Scope 3, with the supply chain can be complex and resources intensive, creating a high reporting burden relatively to available resources. And challenge number 4 is the supply chain pressures. Even when SMEs are not required by regulation to disclose ESG data, larger clients often demand sustainability information from their suppliers. This creates indirect pressure on SMEs to comply with ESG reporting standards, even if they fall outside the mandatory reporting scope. So failure to meet these expectations could result in losing key clients, particularly as more large corporations prioritize sustainability suppliers to meet their own ESG targets. The 5th challenge is a lack of incentive and perceived return of investment. For many SMEs, the benefit of ESG reporting are not immediately apparent, leading to hesitation in investigating sustainability measures. Unlikely, large companies, SMEs, may not see an immediate return on investment or ESG compliance, viewing it instead as a regulatory burden rather than a strategic opportunity. This lack of perceived ROI means that many SMEs adopt a wait-and-see approach, focusing only on mandatory requirements without proactively investigating sustainability initiatives. And the sixth challenge is methodological complexity of ESG standards. Navigating the technical aspect of ESG reporting standards, like those under the EU's CSRD and ESRS, can be a daunting task for SMEs. The requirements often involve detailed sector-specific metrics that may not align with SME operation scope. The complex language and multifaceted demands of the standards make it challenging for SMEs to determine what is a material to their business and how best can comply without overspending on unnecessary disclosures. So these six challenges of ESG reporting for SMEs in the EU are numerous. Beside these six, there are other ones, stemming from financial, technical, and operational constraints. However, as ESG compliance becomes more integrated into business ecosystems, overcoming these barriers can enhance an SME's resilience, attract investment, and create stronger partnership with larger companies. With the right guidance support, SMEs can begin to leverage ESG as a pathway to sustainability growth, even amidst these challenges. The second thing that we would like to cover today is the future of ESG reporting for SMEs in the EU. And there are a few things that we had to mention here, from challenges and opportunities, but also I would like to mention a few interesting ones, which is expansion of ESG reporting requirements. So the EU's commitment to sustainability through the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive, or CSRD, and the European Sustainability Reporting Standard, which is the ESRS, signals an enduring and expanding focus on ESG reporting across all sectors, including the SMEs. With the upcoming phased implementation, listed SMEs will begin reporting in 2026, and even non-listed SMEs face indirect pressures to comply primarily through supply chain, their expectation from larger clients. That's expectation from larger clients. And so this is the thing that is happening now, is the develop of simplified reporting standard for SMEs. So recognizing the challenges that SMEs face in adopting complex ESG frameworks, the European Financial Reporting Advisory Group, or the EFRAG, is developing simplified standards tailored for smaller businesses. These standards aim to reduce the reporting burden by focusing on essential metrics, such as energy use, greenhouse gas emissions, and social impact, while omitting complex requirements that may be unsuitable for smaller operations. For non-listed SMEs, voluntary ESG standards are being introduced to enable flexible, scalable down reporting, which can enhance market accesses and credibility without full compliance burdens. So increase accesses to sustainable finance in the future is where ESG performance will increasingly influence access to capital, especially as investors prioritize sustainability business models. So banks and funds are already favoring companies with clear ESG data, and SMEs that proactively adopt ESG practices stand to benefit from the better financial options. This shift is expected to accelerate as the EU green finance initiatives encourage financial institutions to prioritize funding for companies demonstrating responsible environmental and social practices. The other thing that worth mentioning today in terms of the future of reporting of SME is a technological advancement in ESG reporting. Digital tools and platforms are making ESG reporting more accessible for SMEs. Emerging technologies enable automated data collection, streamlined reporting, and simplified compliance processes, reducing the administrative complexities for smaller businesses. So by integrating technology, SMEs can better manage ESG data and efficiently meet both regulatory and market expectations. As ESG compliance becomes standard, tech-enabled solutions will likely play a pivotal role in ensuring SMEs can keep pace with evolving requirements. And in terms of opportunities for the future of ESG reporting, I would like to highlight a gaining of competitive edge. While regulatory landscapes may seem challenging, the growing focus on ESG reporting presents an opportunity for SMEs to differentiate themselves. As businesses and customers place more importance on sustainability, SMEs with strong ESG credentials can secure valuable partnerships, attract eco-conscious consumers, and establish themselves as industry leaders. This proactive approach to ESG can also future-proof SMEs, making them more adaptable to market changes and resilience against regulatory risks. So, the future of ESG reporting for SME in the EU, I guess, is marked by evolving standards. Well, I guess not. It is marked by evolving standards, greater access to finance, and rise of enablement technologies. So SMEs that embrace this shift early will not only comply with the future regulations, but also position themselves to thrive in an increasingly sustainable driven market. As the EU refines its frameworks, a proactive approach to ESG will be critical for SMEs seeking to maintain competitiveness and build lasting value in the green economy. I would like to mention 7 strategic steps for SMEs to implement ESG reporting in the EU. Probably, if you're following this series of videos, you heard some of them already, but I put the 7 most important here as a guidance, hopefully to make somebody else's life easier. So in these strategic steps, number 1 is conduct a materiality assessment. The first step for an SME starting with ESG reporting is to conduct a materiality assessment. This process involves identifying which environment, social, and governance factors are most relevant to the business and its stakeholders. Materiality assessment consider both impact materiality, how the company's activities affect the environment and society, and financial materiality, how ESG factors impact the company's financial health. This dual focus, known as a dual materiality, helps SMEs prioritize which issues to report on and ensures that resources are directed effectively. The second strategy or second step is engage stakeholders earlier. Involving stakeholders from the beginning can provide valuable insights into ESG priorities and set a clear direction for reporting. Key stakeholders include investors, customers, employees, suppliers, and local communities. Engaging these groups helps SMEs understand external expectations and address critical concerns in their ESG strategies. Regular feedback from stakeholders can also refine the reporting processes over time, aligning it with the evolving market demands or evolving market demands. The third step or strategy is define clear ESG goals and metrics. Once material topics are identified, the next step is to establish specific measurable goals and metrics. For instance, if an SME determines that reducing carbon emission is a priority, it should set a clear reduction target and identify metrics to track progress, such as energy consumption or Scope 1 and 2 emissions. Establishing realistic timelines and KPIs helps in creating a roadmap for progress, making it easier to track and report on ESG performance effectively. The fourth step is leverage simplified reporting standards. To ease the reporting burden, SMEs should consider using frameworks tailored for smaller businesses, such as voluntary ESRS for non-listed SMEs, or the basic module under ESRS LSME for listed SMEs. These frameworks provide flexible, scalable option that allows SMEs to report on core ESG metrics without extensive data collection or complex compliance requirements. Adopting these simplified standards also aligns with requirements from business partners and financial institutions, which increasingly seek standardized ESG data from SMEs in their supply chains. The step number 5 is build an internal ESG team or assigned an ESG lead. Even if in a smaller organizations, designing an ESG lead or forming a small team can provide the focus needed to oversee and coordinate reporting efforts. This team is responsible for data collection, setting ESG targets, and managing relationships with external stakeholders. For SMEs with limited resources, cross-departmental collaboration can make reporting more efficient, with individuals from finance, operations, and human resources contributing relevant data and insights. The 6th step or strategy here is use the technology to streamline data collection. To reduce administrative efforts, SMEs can utilize ESG-focused software and digital tools that streamline data collection and reporting. Platforms that integrate with existing business systems can automate data tracking, facilitate reporting on key metrics, and improve data accuracy. As ESG reporting requirements evolve, technology solution can also adapt, helping SMEs maintain compliance with minimal disruption of their operations. And the last one, the number 7th, is start reporting gradually and improve over time. For many SMEs, ESG reporting is a new and evolving process. It's beneficial to begin with core disclosures and gradually expand reporting efforts as the organization's ESG capabilities develop. So starting small allows internal capacity before fully scaling their reporting efforts. And then over time, SMEs can deepen their ESG commitments and refine their practices based on feedback and the outcomes of their reporting. So these are the 7 strategies or steps to implementing ESG reporting for SMEs in the EU, which requires strategic planning, collaboration, and a focus on material issues. So by following these steps or suggestions, beginning with the materiality assessments, engaging stakeholders, setting clear goals, and leveraging simplified standards, SMEs can build a sustainability reporting process that meets regulatory expectations and positions the business for a long-term success. Well, finally, ESG reporting as a strategic opportunity for SMEs. As a conclusion, we can say of this two-part video is that as the EU intensifies its focus on sustainability, ESG reporting has evolved from a regulatory requirement into a strategic opportunity, particularly for SMEs. Despite the inherent challenges, such as limited resources, complexity in reporting standards, and data collection burdens, the benefits of embracing ESG are becoming increasingly clear. By actively participating in the EU sustainability frameworks, SMEs stand to gain not only regulatory compliance, but also enhanced market competitiveness, improved financing options, and stronger relationship with customers and partners. So embracing proportionally simplified standards, or as the development of the ESRS and the voluntary VSME standard reflect a commitment to balance rigor with flexibility, that ensures that SMEs can participate meaningfully in the EU green transition. Simplified standards tailored for SMEs allow these businesses to engage in sustainability reporting at a level that is manageable, while still meeting the information needs to larger partners and financial institutions. This proportional approach is crucial in enabling SMEs to contribute to the EU's sustainability goals without overwhelming their own resources. So it is a path to long-term resilience for SMEs. ESG reporting is just about meeting current standards. It's about building a business model that is resilient, adaptable, and attractive to today's environmentally conscious market. By embedding ESG principles into their core operations, SMEs can mitigate risk associated with environmental and social issues, attract capital from sustainability-driven investors, and secure their position in increasingly regulated supply chains. So, what to expect looking forward is turning compliance into a competitive edge. The future of ESG in the EU is one of alignment with both local and global sustainability frameworks, helping businesses integrate seamlessly into a sustainable economy. SMEs that adopt ESG reporting early will find themselves better prepared to adapt to future regulations, capitalize on sustainable finance opportunities, and differentiate themselves in a crowded market. Embracing ESG today lays the groundwork for competitive advantage tomorrow, making it an essential part of any forward-thinking SME strategy. So ESG reporting is not longer a mere compliant task. It's a powerful tool for building a sustainable and prosperous future for SMEs in the EU. Thank you very much for watching this video today. I hope it has been useful to you, and more videos will follow in coming weeks. Thank you very much and have a great day.